Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Let's Stay Gamers, and welcome. So today we're playing a little bit of Frontier Pilot Simulator. Now, this game was nice enough given to me by one of the developers. He said, take a look at it, give us a sort of honest review of how you feel it plays. Now, I'm going to be blatantly honest here. This game is very basic. It's a very simple sort of concept. Does that mean it's a bad thing? No. All you have to do is you take your little dropship here, you pop your little ramp down at the back, you load on supplies and take them between outposts. Now, this sort of game is going to be the one that appeals to people that just enjoy quite a laid-back transport experience with the whole point of making money to upgrade your transport vessel. Do I think it's worth 20 quid? No, it's not at all. It's about, at the most, a £12 game, and I'm going to be really honest with that. Even though it is in early alpha stages and it's got a lot to come, I don't see how much further you can get with this. Maybe a few different ship variants or maybe a different island location, but the base game is very clear and very transparent. So let's go over the little controls. I'll show you some of the cool features, but more importantly, do I enjoy playing it? Yeah, I enjoyed all 8 hours that I played of it. Some areas were very frustrating, but that was just mainly because I came in with some really bad landings when I was making it, well, going to make a lot on different bits of cargo. So the cargo system works is different areas have different sorts of items. So if we go to the map, the service base requires them items, and it has these items available to actually buy or upgrade your ship with. So for instance, the trawler currently needs nothing. The cargo spaceway has available items and necessary items that we can deliver to it. The research platform, this is what I really wanted to do, is head to the research platform, buy some advanced colonial B2 rations, and then transport them out to the desert that I think would make me considerable profit. There, yeah, you can see they want 1900 for the actual rations themselves. So we're there to make a hell of a lot of money if we do it right. Well, let's actually have a look where the container with heavy shielding and classified material goes. I believe this goes out to somewhere. Yeah, there. See, that goes out to there. That's a 20,000, but I believe that's a very delicate transport mission compared to the actual cargo of transporting them advanced colonial B2 rations. That is going to be dead cheap. So let's set ourselves up for takeoff, and we'll head to the research platform and do an easy mission for ourselves. So we've got two ways of taking off. We could use the runway if we wanted to, taxiway there, but I'm just going to go into vertical flight mode. And you can see the various weather effects away around us. So if I just hit V, turns them off so you can't see them. But having them on really does help because you can actually see the conditions that you're going to be going into. The yellow markers are the kind of story campaign missions. We can't fly through that because that is a bloody volcano. So let's tilt ourselves forward, turn into horizontal flight, and get up our speed. And we'll bank ourselves around here. So we're just going to put into a slight banking, and then we're going to use our engines to do the rest of the work for us. So you can see how the ship works. I do love the animations of each craft, and I think that's what's really kept me satisfied with landing and taking off, watching the engines sort of fluctuate, further thrust, and it is a challenge to actually take off. So what we're going to do is climb out of this more sort of stronger weather that's probably cutting our fuel economy in half, and if we climb a little bit higher up, we should get into the number one, well, it'll be thinner air, so our engines won't have enough oxygen if we go too high, but just above here should be good enough where we get better fuel efficiency because we're not fighting the weather. Just level off up here, get our speed up. We should be able to increase our speed to about 400 if we level off nicely, and you can see that the research platform is closing in, and this is the meat of the game, traveling. You'll find yourself up here looking down at the clouds for probably about 40-50% of the game, the other half being landing and taking off. Radar's broken because Aaron didn't upgrade his radar because he doesn't really think it's that necessary because it can kind of work out how long an item or distant object is. And then when I come a little bit closer, just bring myself in. Anyway, let's cut to the landing sequence. So returning back to the game, the research platform is below us. So let's actually break the clouds now and head into this very bad weather. Now, I know the area around the research facility has some very strong gusty rain, just general weather itself. So as we come in here, let's just turn into horizontal flight, reduce our speed, and have a look at the direction of the landing pad here. So I'm going to turn this off for the minute. The problem with this particular landing that we have here is we have the wind on our right side. So if I turn the weather icons on, you can see how the ship's going to be pushed over to the right like it's already doing. We don't got too much problem with the thrust at the moment because we're not taking, well, we're not dropping off a heavy item, but delivering a heavy item to this oil rig is bloody hard. So let's bring ourselves in for quite delicate type landing. Here we go. Lower ourselves in slow so we don't have to make an adjustment for that wind pushing us. And then just drop ourselves down ever so slightly. You can see the meter gauge appearing on the right. And we haven't done too much damage to our ship, so I think that's a good landing completed there. Usually a bit harder than that. I guess I'm getting a little bit better. The few hours that I've put into this game have kind of paid off with my landing. So let's pick up this supply. What I'd really like to see for this game is maybe a multiplayer aspect with a lot of people going around transporting supplies, especially if people were beating you on quotes to deliver things for different prices and stuff. I think that'd be hilarious. Or even just competing with time to get to different locations. Obviously people with better upgraded ships would have some issues. Maybe add some weapons onto the ships. But I don't know. Some sort of combat element would be pretty cool. Let's load them advanced rations like we said we were going to do anyway. Hook them inside. We've also got the samples of underwater flora that are kind of delicate. I don't want to transport them. They won't make me too much money unless I get them to the right spot. So let's take this guy off. It should be quite an easy sort of takeoff. Let's just double reference where I'm actually going first. So we are heading to that location. So that is in that direction. And we've got the wind behind us, so it should aid in getting us over there. So a nice little takeoff. Enter into vertical flight mode. I tend to do this when I get over the airspeed of about 100, just to guarantee that I don't go straight into the ground. So to wrap this video up, before we reach the coordinates, that is the meat of the game. The basic concept is there. You're transporting supplies between two locations, a bit like a Euro Truck Simulator of the sky. It is very relaxing, and they promise a few more features such as a cockpit, more locations to fly to that I think would be very important. I think if there's some more locations, and especially the cockpit, if they have a detailed interior cockpit with lots of pressy buttons and very interactive instead of it just being a perspective, it could be very exciting indeed. This game needs a lot of work, and hopefully as it comes through the alpha stages, goes into beta and so on, it gets that work it needs and becomes a very polished product. Anyway, let's thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.